Hi, this is Dr. Saxena, and we've been talking on something regarding your health and what are the things which are sabotaging your health. I've been always talking about something like sugar is the most bad thing. I always place sugar above the smoke, tobacco that is. And the thing which I always wanted to talk about is the real thing which is sabotaging your health is why, and this is called candida, which is called a yeast infection, and why you should take this yeast problem seriously. There are what I'd like to tell in different things here. What happens is that millions of people are fighting against a battle against this single fungus they cannot see. The fungus belongs to the family of yeast called as in Candida, and in normal circumstances, it lives harmlessly in the mucous membranes of your skin, your mouth, intestines, and in woman vagina. So, unfortunately, Candida cells can overdevelop very rapidly under certain conditions, like if your immune system is out of balance from eating unhealthy foods, or if you're taking certain prescription drugs, fighting an illness or more. When this overgrowth occurs, it can create a condition called candidiasis, often referred simply as yeast infection. And the result is an astounding array of health problems that can rob you of energy and interfering with your ability to enjoy life. See, there is a lot of misinformation about Candida on the net, and I want you to understand what is this thing and take your steps accordingly. Uh, worst part is sometimes doctors not only immediately recognize the symptoms of Candida overgrowth, but they are not sure of it or confused about how to cure it. So if you think if you are suffering from yeast related condition problem, or you are simply interested in learning more about things, I can always be of some help here. So this we need to understand why this simple candida, which is common yeast-like fungus, which is living in a symbiotic way in the mucous membranes, quite benign together with the other microbiota as well as the microflora with the good bacteria, and of course they get into some things because it's normally found in some places, and so there are why what makes this transition from a normal candida to the candidiasis. You need to understand this particular thing so that it will be easier for you to. Candida is overgrowth is not just a mere presence of candida in your body. Candida is a normal part of your microflora. In fact, oral swabs, if you check 40 to 75%, you will get Candida albicans at any given time. And but there may not be any signs of overgrowth or infection and all that. So, it is that it's the breach that opens the door to of Candida overgrowth to occur, and that overgrowth can wreak a havoc on your health and even cause death if your immune system is dangerously low. And now we believe why the people with AIDS or HIV who are immunocompromised by and people who are immunocompromised by radiation or chemotherapy, who are on antibiotic therapy, are more susceptible for yeast infection. Candidiasis is a fungus; it is not a bacterium. And what happens is that when antibiotics are used, there's a flip flop in the balance of the naturally occurring flora in the mouth, where the normal flora is damaged by the antibiotic therapy, to the advantage of fungus which starts blooming. This damage to the mucous membranes and to the salivary glands also allows for candida colonization. Dry mouth, that's a xerostomia, upsets the balance of microorganisms in the oral cavity. When the delicate balance between the normal and abnormal bacteria is disturbed, there is overgrowth of fungus. Since fungus is yeast infection is not treated by antibiotic. In fact, I can always tell antibiotics are notorious in triggering yeast infections. The calmness thing which we see when we are practicing, we ask the patient to open the mouth and we see that white layer over the tongue, which we commonly refer to as thrush, which is this yeast infection, and sometimes it is whitish or yellowish patch on your mouth and on your tongue and the throat. So this is not just the problem of your mouth; it grows there along with the 300 species of other bacteria, and it is when you see the tongue, it is there throughout your intestinal tract. So this is called the thrush, and we always are working on this particular area and how to get with this particular stuff. I just want to make you understand what are the symptoms to watch for when you have the oral thrush. You can have burning pain in the mouth or throat. You have tiny cracks at the corner of your mouth. You will have tiny cracks, altered taste, especially when eating spicy or sweet foods. They say nothing is palatable, difficulty swallowing, and sometimes chest pain by accompanied by difficult swallowing. This is mostly kind of this one oral thrush. There is something called invasive candidiasis also is there, where we try to work it out in a different people with in intensive care, people with organ transplants with weakened immune system, and people with diabetes and people in neutropenia. They have this kind of problems. So that's a totally different segment. So what I just wanted you to understand is this is the one of the subtle thing which is doesn't unless you look into that, you have your clinician or you have got that knowledge, then only you can understand you are having that yeast problem. See, yeast problem, you need to understand there is something like you need to have some predisposition of something like antibiotic overusage, or you should have something like uncontrolled diabetes, and you have something like if you are smoking, and if you have got immune disturbances, then you get into, or you have got a sweet tooth, people with this, or sometimes this is very easier when it affects genital yeast infection. In women, they will be having genital itching and burning, and if they can have a vaginal discharge which can be curdy vaginal discharge, and painful and difficult urination and associate things. In the men, you can get something like itchy rash on the penis, red skin and swelling, and can be sometimes there will be some painful urination also. So we believe these yeast infections are really stealth infections, and they are very common, and it's not usually documented, and which by treating this particular stuff, we can always make a big dent in the health this one, and just by keeping this candida away, it will be like it works like anything. So the other things which I can always tell you about candida yeast infections, which I believe if someone comes to me with food cravings, especially for carbohydrates, I understand he or she must be having some yeast problem. Somebody is having bloating of the stomach, it can be a yeast problem. Liver overload, people with decreased thyroid function and metabolism, people with tremendous fluid retention in the whole body, they'll have anasarca, swelling the feet and all that, and this is one of the things which suggests us there is a problem with the yeast thing as a thing, and weight gain also is one of the reasons because of the yeast problem. So this is what and most of the people having yeast problems, they have skin rashes, they'll have some skin allergies, perennial allergic rhinitis is a very common feature with most of the fungal issues, and they get into some inflammations in the gut also. They have irritable bowel syndrome. You have got sometimes they get into some. There are different, quite different unconnected things are there. But they are connected with this common candida overgrowth in your gut. It starts from irritable bowel, it goes to vaginitis, it can go to food allergies. It has got something like migraines. It may present with PMS, premenstrual syndrome, people with asthma and rhinitis, fibromyalgia and arthritis. You have got something like chronic fatigue, people with leaky gut, people with periodontitis. The infection always remains in the mouth. People with depression or anxiety, people with esophagitis or gastritis, always. People with atopic dermatitis, people sometimes with even we see relation with cancer, and some other things also with this candida. So it is, if you crave sugar or carbohydrates and feel run down, yeast might be to the blame. You need to look at what is this particular yeast is causing a problem, or how to work it out and all that. This is one of the simple thing which you always look into it. And this because of this toxic byproducts which this yeast makes, is regularly entering your bloodstream. This chronic yeast infections, there are two of the toxins, alcohol and acetaldehyde, the breakdown product of alcohol that causes hangovers, are in such high amounts that these folks may actually end up feeling as if they are intoxicated. This is, we call it as a fetal alcohol syndrome sometimes. And if that weren't enough, new research shows that the toxic odor produces such high mutagenic amounts of acetaldehyde that can even lead to mucosal cancers. So acetaldehyde also reacts with the neurotransmitter dopamine, which is why people with yeast overgrowth can experience mental and emotional disturbances such as anxiety, depression, poor concentration, a feeling of being spaced out. They feel that there is something like a brain fog. They experience something like brain fog. So this with this kind of thing, I try to work on some things which are uh, taught to us. Basically try to work with the nutrition, try to take out all the sweet and sugary things and all. And we work with the different kind of combinations. We'll do with some biooxidant therapies, try to work on some detox and all that. That's the way we try to work it out from for these yeast problems. And I believe this yeast is, it looks very simple, but it's, I can always tell you, it's a very nasty and irritating one. And we having practiced in autism and other autoimmune diseases, we see once we overcome that yeast issue, then the progress becomes very smooth. And that's the basic thing which we work it out. Thank you.